Hello students, welcome to fifth session of royalty accounts. Here, I hope you remember our previous class wherein which we studied journal entries without minimum rent account. Without preparing minimum rent account, we can pass these journal entries in the books of lessee and in the books of lessor. So you need to remember the transactions, royalty due, royalty payment, transfer of royalty, recoupment, and short work. So let us start with the problem. Rupa Marbles took on lease a quarry from Rohit on royalty of rupees 10 per ton of white marbles extracted. So here you can recognize two parties, Rupa Marbles and Rohit. So Rupa Marbles pays the royalty amount to Rohit. For that reason, Rupa Marbles is the lessee and Rohit is the lessor. One who makes the money is the lessee and one who receives the royalty is the lessor. And royalty per ton of extraction is rupees 10. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಟನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 10 ರುಪೀಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ರೂಪ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಲೆಸ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಪೇಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ರೋಹಿತ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಲೆಸ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. The dead rent or the flat rent or minimum rent is rupees 20,000 per annum with right to recover short working. That means short working recoupment can be made within the first 4 years of lease. So that means 2016, 17, 18 and 19. So within 2019, within the first 4 years, the short working adjustments can be made. So we cannot transfer the short working to 2020, that is the 5th year. So we can make the adjustment only within the first 4 years. So they have given the data relating to extraction, that is year and production in tons. So you are required to pass journal entries in the books of Rupa Marbles and Rohit. That means in the books of lessee and in the books of lessor. Here you can notice in this problem they didn't mention anything regarding preparation of minimum rent account. They have not specified anything. So when they have not specified anything regarding minimum rent account, it's your option to go with the minimum rent account or without minimum rent account. But it's advisable to go for without minimum rent account because we can skip the entries here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ರೀಸನ್, so we are going to solve this problem. That means we are going to pass journal entries in the books of lessee and in the books of lessor without preparing minimum rent account. So first we need to prepare this royalty table. So for this royalty table, year and output, I'll copy this year and output from the problem. From 2016 to 2020, and they have given output in terms of tons. Then we need to calculate the royalty. Royalty specified in the problem, that is royalty per ton rupees 10. So 1400 into 10, it is 14,000. 1800 into 10, 18,000. 2050 into 10, so it is 20,500. 2,650 into 10, so 26,500. 2,800 into 10, so it is 28,000. Royalty per ton is rupees 10. Then minimum rent. So minimum rent given in the problem, it's a fixed 20,000 rupees per annum. So I'll just record the same 20,000 per annum, and it is common for all the years. So 20,000 for all the years from 2016 to 2020. There is no change in minimum rent. Then surplus royalty minus minimum rent, and short working minimum rent minus royalty. So in the year 2016, minimum rent is a higher amount, so surplus is nil, and short working is 20,000 minus 14,000 is 6,000. And 2017, 20,000 minus 18,000, so surplus nil and short working 2,000. In the year 2018, 20,500 and 20,000. The surplus is 500 and short working nil. In the year 2019, 26,500 minus 20,000, so 6,500 is a surplus and short working nil. In the year 2020, so surplus is 8,000 and short working is nil. After this, we need to find the remaining column with respect to short working. So for the first year, short working recoupment. So we have short working of 6,000 but surplus nil. So surplus is nil, so we cannot adjust any balance. So short working recoupment is nil. And again we have two options, carry forward or return off. So for return off, we have a condition, short working within first 4 years of lease. So within first 4 years, so we can adjust the short working. That means within 2019, so we have to adjust all short working. So until 2019, I can carry forward the short working. So 2019 ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ 6,000 ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. And short working return off, it's nil. Entire amount of short working carry forward to next year, so return off is 0. Then cash payment, we have a formula here, minimum rent or royalty whichever is higher. So here higher amount is 20,000 less recoupment if any. So recoupment is 0. So 20,000 minus 0, it's 20,000. And the next year 2017, again a recoupment. Last year's brought forward of rupees 6,000 plus current year's 2,000. So total we have 8,000 rupees of short working in the year 2017. But to adjust this short working, we didn't have any surplus. So as there is no surplus, we cannot adjust anything. And again, previous year's 6,000, current year's 2,000. So total 8,000 short working carried forward to next year. As the entire amount carried to next year, so return of amount is nil. Then cash payment, minimum rent or royalty whichever is higher. So here higher amount is 20,000 minus recoupment balance 0. So here lessee has to pay 20,000 rupees again. And say in the third year, so here we have a surplus of 500 and short working brought forward from the previous year 8,000. So even though we have 8,000 short working, we have surplus of only 500 rupees. So we can adjust surplus, so short working of 500 against surplus. So out of 8,000, we adjusted 500 rupees here. So remaining 7,500 carried forward to next year. So total 8,500 recouped and 7,500 carried to next year. So there is no amount for return off. So for cash payment or the final payment, royalty or minimum rent whichever is higher. So here higher amount is 20,500 less recoupment if any. So here recoupment amount 500. So 20,500 minus 500. So remaining balance is 20,000 rupees. And see the fourth year. So we have surplus of 6,500 and short working brought forward 7,500. So even though we have 7,500 short working, we have surplus of only 6,500. So we can adjust only 6,500 rupees. So here loss of 1,000 rupees. the excess amount. So this excess amount we cannot carry forward to the next year, because recoupment condition is we can adjust the short working only in the first 4 years. So within 2019 we have to adjust all the short working. So we cannot carry forward the balance. So remaining balance of 1000 is considered as debt loss, and we have to transfer this balance to profit and loss account. Out of 7,500, 6,500 rupees adjustments and remaining 1,000 is written off. And see the last final settlement. Royalty or minimum rent, whichever is higher. So here higher amount is 26,500 minus recoupment of 6,500. So remaining balance is 20,000. 26,500 minus 6,500. So he has to pay 20,000 rupees. And see in the last year. So in the last year we have surplus of 8,000 rupees. Again, there is no amount of short working, so we have nothing to recover. So for that reason, again, recoupment is nil. And carry forward. So we don't have any balance to carry forward of short working. And short working written off, of course, there is no amount for short working to write off. And see the final settlement. So here minimum rent or royalty, whichever is higher. So here higher amount is 28,000 less recoupment if any. So 28,000 minus 0. So lessee or has to pay 28,000 rupees to lessor. So Rupa Marbles has to pay 28,000 rupees to Rohit. So this is how we have to prepare royalty table. So hope you understood the preparation of royalty table. It's very very important for the next accounting treatment. So let us start with the journal entries. As far as the journal entries, so you know that without minimum rent account we are going to prepare uh, uh, the journal entries. So for that you need to remember the 5 transactions: royalty due, rent payment or transfer of royalty, and recoupment of short working and short working written off. So these first three entries, royalty due, uh, a rent paid and transfer of royalty, these 3 transactions are common and it's compulsory in all the years. Every year we have to pass these 3 entries, and these 2 entries are optional. Whenever we have short working a recoupment, we have to pass this entry, and whenever we have short working written off, we have to pass this entry. Otherwise, so these 3 entries are common and compulsory in all the years. So let us start with the journal entries. Journal entries in the books of Rupa Marbles without minimum rent account. So the first year they have given 2016, then record 2016. And I'll check the transactions. The first transaction is for royalty. For royalty due, the entry is royalty account debit, short workings account debit to lessor's account. So I'll pass the entry here. Royalty account debit, short workings account debit, and to lessor's account. So here lessor name is Rohit. So record here to Rohit's account. So royalty account debit, short workings account debit to Rohit's account. So the first transaction is for royalty due. So as far as the royalty due, we have to pause the entries, this royalty account debit, short workings account debit, and Rohit's account. So here I have to mention the amount. As far as the amount is concerned, we need to check the royalty table. In the year 2016, royalty amount specified in the column 3. My column 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ mention ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ royalty amount. So here royalty amount is 14,000 and short workings amount 6,000. So I'll pass the entry. Royalty amount is 14,000 and short workings account 6,000. So total amount of minimum rent is 20,000. So as far as royalty due, we have entry royalty account debit, short workings account debit to lessor's account. Again, I'll check the second entry, that is royalty payment. As far as the payment journal entry is lessor's account debits to bank account. So here lessor name is Rohit. So Rohit's account debit to bank account. So here to bank account. Again, I need to check the table for the final payment. So in the year 2016, the final payment as represented in the last column, it's 20,000. So I'll record Rohit's account debit to bank account 20,000 rupees. And remember, so this entry is for the royalty payment. So royalty paid. So royalty paid to lessor. So debit the receiver. Rohit's account is debited and cash goes out. So a bank account is credited. And see the journal entries again. The third one is transfer of royalty. So we need to transfer the royalty amount to either to production account or to profit and loss account. So if the royalty is based on productions or extraction, in that time we need to transfer the balance to production account. In other cases, we need to transfer the balance to profit and loss account. As far as this problem, we have calculated the royalty per ton, 10 rupees into production. So for that reason, we need to calculate the balance or we need to transfer the royalty amount to production account. So journal entry is production account debit to, so here royalty account. We are going to transfer the royalty amount. Production account debit to royalty account. Again, royalty amount. So here already mentioned the royalty amount is 14,000. So I'll transfer this royalty amount to production. So here our narration is royalty amount transfer. Royalty transferred to production account. So see here, so these three entries are common in any year. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಮೂರು ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಐದರ್ ಇನ್ 2016, 17, 18, 19 or 20. So again, we need to check the two entries. Remaining two entries check ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Is it necessary to pass or not? So recoupment of short working. So check in your table, is there any amount in recoupment? So if there is no entry in the recoupment, no amount specified in the recoupment, no need to pass this journal entry. So fifth journal entry will not appear in 2016 because there is no short working recoupment. And check the sixth one, short working written off. Again check in the table. So is there any amount specified in written off column? So there is no amount specified in written off column, so no need to pass this sixth journal entry. Sixth journal entry ಅನ್ನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ recoupment amount ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ 2016 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 2016ಗೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ 3 ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ನಮಗೆ 3 ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಡ್ಯೂ, ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಪೇಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. So then see in the year 2017. So in the year 2017, again the same transactions repeat. Royalty due, royalty payment, royalty transfer. So I'll copy the transaction that is here. Royalty account debit, short workings account debit, and credited to Rohit's account. The royalty account debit, short workings account debit to Lessor's account. But as far as the amount, I need to check the table. So in the year 2017, the royalty amount is 18,000 and short working is 2,000. I'll record the same. So here royalty amount 18,000 and short workings 2,000. So the narration is being royalty due. And the second entry, of course, the same thing, royalty payment. So again, journal entries is same. Lessor's account debit to bank account. So here again I need to check the amount. So as far as the amount in the year 2017, the final settlement is 20,000. So I'll record here the final payment to the lessor is 20,000. So it is 20,000 and 20,000. And again check the third transaction, transfer of royalty. Again we need to transfer the royalty to production account. There is no change in the journal entry, that is production account to debit to royalty account. So here I need to check the amount. So royalty amount for the year 2017 is 18,000. So this 18,000 transferred to production account. So here it is, debit entry of 18,000 rupees transferred to production account. So these three entries are common. Again, we need to check whether there is any short working recoupment or written off. So check the table. So here in the year 2017, so there is nothing mentioned for recoupment and short working written off. So there is no need to pass again these two journal entries in the year 2017. So again, let us move on to 2018. Again, first three entries are same: royalty due, royalty payment, royalty transfer. So I'll copy all the three entries in the year 2018. I need to put the amount. So royalty amount in the year 2018 is 20,500 and there is no short working. The royalty amount 20,500 and there is no short working. So short working amount is nil. So royalty amount debit, short workings account debit to Rohit's account. So here Rohit's account is credited by 20,500. So royalty due. And the second one for royalty payment. So for royalty payment our entry is lessor's account debit to bank account. Again we need to check the balance. In the year 2018 the final settlement was 20,000. So here final settlement or final payment was 20,000 to Rohit. Even though royalty due was 20,500, we paid him only 20,000 rupees. And again, the third entry is transfer of royalty amounts to production account. So here royalty amount is 20,500. This balance transferred to production account. Fine. So this is how these three entries are common in any year. ಯಾವುದೇ ವರ್ಷಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಮೂರು ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ we need to check for the remaining two transactions, short working recoupment and short working written off. So let us check in table, is there any entry for short working recoupment? So 2018, so here short working recoupment is 500 rupees. So there is no mention for short working written off, but we have to pause an entry for short working recoupment. So here, as far as short working recoupment, the entry is lessor's account debits to short working's account. So here lessor means Rohit. So Rohit's account debit to short working's account. Alright. Rohit's account debit to short working's account. So here, short working recoupment. So here, in the year 2018, short working recoupment was 500. So amount is 500 rupees. Recoupment amount. Here I can verify. Royalty due was 20,500, but we paid to lessor only 20,000, and remaining 500 rupees we adjusted. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ರೋಹಿತ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದಂಥದ್ದು 20,500 rupees, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು 20,000 rupees ಮಾತ್ರ. ಈ 500 rupeesನ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್. So in the previous year you can check, ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ದಂಥದ್ದು 18,000 rupees ಮಾತ್ರ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು 20,000. ಸೊ ಲೆಸ್ಸರ್ಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು 20,000. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ 2,000 rupeesನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವು. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ 2,000 rupeesನ ನಾವು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವು. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ 500 rupees. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಪೇಯಬಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್. So even though royalty payable is 20,500, we paid to lessor only 20,000, remaining 500 rupees adjusted against short working. So here narration short working recoup. Being short working recouped 500 rupees. So that is in the year 2018. So there is no amount is for short working written off. So written off entry will not appear in the year 2018. So let us see the entries in 2019. So in the year 2019, of course, the first three transactions are same. Royalty due, royalty payment and royalty transfer to production account. So I have copied the same transactions and we need to check the amount. So as far as 2019, royalty amount is 26,500 and no entry for short working. So in this kind of situation, if short working is nil, short working nil anta heli adre, we can skip the short working. Now short working entry and skip ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. So here our entry will become royalty account debits to Rohit's account. So if there is no entry for short working, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ I'll repeat, short workings amount in the year 2019 is 26,500. So it is 26,500 and short working nil and royalty due to Rohit is 26,500 rupees. So there is no amount for short working. So we can skip the short working entry. So if we skip the short working, our entry will become royalty account debit to Rohit's account for royalty due. So instead of royalty account debit, short workings account debit to Rohit's account, we can skip the entry for short working and we can write as royalty account debits to short workings account. So after that, the second entry, Rohit's account debits to bank account for royalty payment. So let us check the royalty table. So final balance or final settlement in the year 2019 was 20,000. So here the entry is Rohit's account debits to bank account. So 20,000 and here it is 20,000 for royalty payment. And the third transaction was transfer of royalty to production account. Of course, royalty amount is 26,500. This amount, 26,500, is transferred to production account. 26,500 and 26,500. After this, we need to check whether there is any amount for recoupment. Of course, we have an entry for recoupment. So recoupment entry is lessor's account debits to short workings account. So here entry for recoupment lessor Rohit. So Rohit's account debits to short workings account. I need to check the amount. So here short working recoupment is 6,500. So Rohit's account debit 6,500. So which is adjusted against short working 6,500. We have recouped 6,500 rupees. And the next thing we need to record, we need to check, is there any balance for short working written off? So let us check in the table. Of course, we have an entry for short working written off in the year 2019. So we have written off 1,000 rupees. So this 1,000 rupees should be transferred to profit and loss account. Consider it as dead loss. Now, ಈ 1,000 rupees ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಡೆಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇರ್ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ to short workings account. So here we have shifting, or we are considering short working as our dead loss. So to short workings account. So we have considered 1,000 rupees as dead loss. Out of 7,500, 6,500 recouped and 1,000 dead loss. So I'll write, so this 1,000 rupees transferred to profit and loss account. So our narration being short working written off 1,000 rupees. So hope you understood all the entries. In the year 2019, we have all the 5 entries. So royalty due, then royalty payment, then transfer of royalty to production account, then short working recoupment and short working written off. So hope you understood the journal entries in the year 2019. And let us see the last one in the year 2020. So of course, I'll copy the first 3 transactions, which is common entries. So first entry is royalty due, royalty account debit, short workings account debit to Rohit's account. So let us check the table. Royalty amount is 28,000 and nil for short working. So royalty account 28,000 and no entry for short working. So I'll skip the short working. So our entry is royalty account debit to Rohit's account. So it is 28,000 for royalty due. And as far as royalty payment, so here final payment of royalty in the year 2020 is 28,000. So I'll record the final payment was 28,000 royalty payment. And we need to transfer this royalty to production account. So royalty due was 28,000. So this amount transferred to production account. There's 28,000. So then check if there is any entry for short working recoupment. So short working recoupment is 0. So no need to pass this entry. And short working written off is also 0. So no need to pass even this entry. So in the year 2020, so there are only 3 transactions, that is for short working royalty due, and here royalty actual payment, and royalty transfer to production account. So these three entries are common in any year, and the remaining two transactions, short working recoupment and short working return off, will appear only if it is there in a profit. So this is how we have to prepare the journal entries in the books of lessee, and without preparing minimum rent account. So without preparing minimum rent account as a separate ledger account, we have passed the journal entry. So if you have any doubts, you can ask, and it is your turn to prepare the journal entries in the books of Lessor. So I'll leave the journal entries in the books of Lessor to yourself. So you have to pass the journal entries in the books of Rohit. So in the books of Lessor, the entries will be opposite, means so here the entry will be lessee's account debit, royalty receivable account credit, short working suspense account credit. But the amount will be the same. So same amount you have to show in the lesser book, but the entry will be opposite direction. My entry is going to opposite ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So instead of Rohit's account, so here Rupa, for example, for the first transaction, our entry will be Rupa Marble's account debit, that is lessee account debit, to royalty receivables account, to short working suspense account. The entries, the amount will be 14,000, sorry, debit entry 20,000 and credit entries of 14,000 and 6,000. So this is how we have to pass the journal entries in the books of lessee, that means Rupa Marbles, and I leave it as assignments to you to pass the journal entries in the books of Lessor. So hope you understood the solution part. Thank you for watching. Take care and happy learning.